Welcome back to Aaron Talks. People, I have seen the new It movie and it is amazing. I can't say enough good things about this movie. First thing you should know is, full disclosure, I have, in fact, read the book. When I was 16 years old, I read the book shortly after seeing the original 1990 miniseries. And I loved aspects of the 1990 miniseries, but this movie just, in my opinion, it just hits everything across the board. If you're a fan of the book, this is the movie we've been waiting on. Now, if you don't know, they are splitting this into two parts. The adult half of the story is just going to be its own separate movie, and I believe that's supposed to be starting to film first part of next year. It'll be out in 2019. So we got a while to wait, but this is definitely enough to hold you over because this is a must-buy for me on Blu-ray. I absolutely loved this film. Now, first I want to talk about the casting because Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Clown is absolutely terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, I jumped like a scared little baby in this movie, and it never felt so good to be scared because the performance was just that good. Now, that said, that doesn't mean that the practical effects and the CGI effects, yeah, I mean, there's probably more CGI than there was practical, and that's not something I love. I personally think more practical, more in camera, the better. Personally, I heard that this movie was originally going to be released in 3D. Maybe it was, I don't know, but there were aspects of this movie that if they had released it in 3D, there would have been some people who possibly would have left because there was some stuff that really did jump right out at you, like literally right out at you. The thing that I found most interesting about Skarsgård's portrayal of Pennywise the Dancing Clown was just how dissimilar it was compared to Tim Curry's portrayal of the character. Tim Curry had this husky voice, and I am Pennywise the Dancing Clown, and you are Georgie. So now we know each other. I mean, that's my bad interpretation, but that's kind of how he did it. Whereas Skarsgård's portrayal was, "Hi, I'm Pennywise the Dancing Clown, and you're Georgie. Now we know each other." It's silly clown versus pedophile clown. I don't know, but both portrayals work really well. But personally, I feel like Skarsgård he did something extra creepy with that performance that scared the crap out of me. Now let's talk a little bit about the kids, because this movie is nothing without the Losers Club. Now, if you've never seen it, the best way I can describe it is take the plot to the 1986 coming-of-age film Stand By Me, which, ironically enough, the source material, the novella The Body, was also written by Stephen King. And if you take the coming-of-age story of Stand By Me, but then you insert clown monster movie. That's basically what Stephen King's It is. And the kids in this movie, man, oh my god, they nailed their performances absolutely note perfect. My three favorites, just off the top of my head, not to say that they weren't all wonderful in their own right, but they were, because they were, but my three favorites off the top of my head, I absolutely love Finn Wolfhard as Richie Tozier. I mean, Tozier was one of my favorite characters from the novel, too. His nickname in the novel is Trashmouth. So we've got Ricky Trashmouth Tozier being played by Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things. He played Mike on Stranger Things, and he is absolutely perfect in this movie. He's got some of the best one-liners of the entire film. And he's got a really great insult that I won't spoil here because people need to see this movie just because this insult is so freaking funny. You will find yourself laughing at his one-liners constantly. But if you're curious as to what particular insult I'm talking about, all I'm going to say is There's a scene in the movie where there's a rock fight between a gang of bullies and the Losers Club. Right after the rock fight, when the losers have triumphed, that is when to look for this insult. It's so freaking funny. This movie is not for kids. If you've not read the novel and if you've only seen the 1990 miniseries, you might be confused by that. This is not for kids. It is a rated R movie, and there's tons of language, innuendo, content that is just not suitable for children. So I'm letting you know that ahead of time. Not a good idea to let your kids see this. I don't care how much it might look like a Goonies or something like that. It is not that kind of movie. So, all of that said, the other two characters that I absolutely loved from the kids were Bev. I'm not sure what the actress's name is, but she is so good in this movie. She plays that perfect sort of elusive girl next door type that's got, you know, a sordid history. That's, you know, I mean, you know, she's so good at making you believe her pain, and she's just really a talented young woman. Another thing I'd love to say is that while, again, all of the cast is just absolutely amazing, the other person who sticks out in my head, quite possibly because I relate a lot to the character, is the character Ben. I've been a heavy guy most of my life, and, you know, last year or so I've actually started to drop some weight, which has been nice, but as a result, you know, growing up heavy, I always tended to relate to fat kids in movies and television shows, and I certainly did in the book and in the original miniseries, and here again, I find myself relating to Ben, and the reason I like him so much is because he's the sensitive guy in the group, and you know, I'm somewhat sensitive. I don't think I'm overly sensitive, but I'm somewhat sensitive when it comes to that kind of thing. So yeah, I can't say enough good things about this cast. If you are a fan of Stephen King, if you're a fan of great adaptations, and if you want to see a really, really great scary clown movie that's got a ton of absolutely awesome kid performances in it, see the new It movie. You will not regret it. I'm starting a new star system here on my channel for how I rate movies, and, you know, 5 is good, and, you know, less than 5 not so good. Stephen King's It gets 5 out of 5 stars for me, and I can't wait for Chapter 2. It's gonna be hopefully just as good. I don't know what else to say except, you know, I freaking hate clowns, and I love this movie, and I love this book. So there you go. I'm Aaron. I've been talking, and I hope you've enjoyed my review of Stephen King's It, and I'll see you guys next time.